friends, welcome back to my channel. So first of all, before we begin, grab yourselves a nice cozy drink. I have a tea in my bunny mug, which is just adorable. Now first of all, before we start, I just want to say I'm really sorry if you couldn't quite hear me very well on my last little haul video. I think it was on my Poundland, was it Poundland? Mother's Day, Spring, Easter haul. I think there were some issues with the sound quality and some people said they couldn't hear me so well, so it's really annoying and I can't go back and fix it. I don't know what happened, so I can only apologise. Hopefully you still enjoyed what you saw. Anyway, hopefully this is much better. So today I am bringing you another craft. I've been busy. I have made this vase. Now, let me just take the flowers out. This vase originally started life as a coffee jar, and I was like, trash, rubbish, let's make it into something like this rather than just throw it away, let's reuse it. So I have found a way to make a like stone effect sort of paint. Now I've seen so many people and lots of stores are selling like, oh gorgeous, like cement, stone, rustic, like speckled, really textured, and just very, how would you describe it? They can look like stone, they're quite rough, but honestly they're beautiful. There's all different colours and the vases come in, but some of them are so expensive, and granted they're from small businesses, but I thought I would just have a little go trying to make my own. So this coffee jar became this, and if you can see, you know, the lighting is very good. I always try to film during the day, but honestly, more life. I don't know if you can hear in the background, the washing machine's on, the dryer's on. I've got stuff washing everywhere to sort out, the laundry's put away. So yeah, I can only apologise, the lighting isn't great, but this is literally the only time I've had to film recently. Anyway, without further ado, so if you can see, look at the texture that I've managed to create on this jar. You can see it's kind of like, it looks like stone. Yeah, and I really like it. On the sideboard with this little arrangement in, it looks a lot more expensive than it was, and you know, I'm really pleased with it. You could go to town, you could change up the colour, go for whatever kind of speckled effect that you would like, and it's simply so easy to do. So I used different shades of paint to make this colour. I kind of say it's like a cream with hints of grey in there, if that's a colour. You probably can't see too well in this light, but I'll try and take a picture and insert it. But I literally used some little tester pots that I already had at home. Oh gosh, sorry. Wait me a second, what's going on? How can your battery be dying already? There, right. I've got these little tester pots from Wilco's, just emulsion tester pots, very reasonable. I've got one in milky coffee, delicate chalk, and intense taupe. Hello, so me again. So my battery cut out and I had to sort that out, so here we are again. So where was I? I was showing you my paint pots. So I've got my little testers here, and I've also got some like just acrylic that I picked up from, what's this, either the Pound Shop or Home Bargains, just in titanium white. And what gives it the stone effect texture is baking powder. Now I've no exact like recipe, if you will, for this. I kind of just had a go at putting different parts in, like equal parts, or more paint or more baking powder until I had like the consistency that I wanted, and then just painted it on. So it was like trial and error really, but I'm quite pleased with the way it turned out. So I'm going to show you on this jar perhaps, maybe a smaller one. Yeah, I'll do a smaller one just to show you quickly. I've got this little jar here that I use to keep my paintbrushes in. Now, I love the ribbed design of it. I'm just not too enamoured with the colour. So I am going to pop some paint. Which one am I going to use? Let's see. I think I'll use intense taupe for this one. It's quite dark. Right, so begin by popping some of it into a bowl. I think I'm just going to put about 1/4 of the pot in. It's only a very small jar. And take my baking powder. This isn't why it's like so inexpensive, because you can use any old bits of paint you've got left over. More often than not, you'll have baking powder in. Just it may even be out of date for you. You're not cooking with it, so you can use it in your crafts. I'm just gonna sprinkle some in there. As I say, I don't have an exact little recipe for this or measurements, so just sprinkle a bit in and then stir, and you'll see as you stir. Try and do this without spilling it. It's kind of gets all like, how can I describe it? Like foamy sort of, and the baking powder kind of reacts with the paint and it goes a bit frothy. But make with little air bubbles in, if you can see that. So once you're happy with the texture, we're just going to add a tiny bit more baking powder and stir, and you'll see what I mean. Look, see how it bubbles? You can see there. That's what gives you this like stone effect texture. So I'm going to take my little jar here and just begin like roughly painting it on. And the beauty of this, you don't need to be neat, and you don't necessarily, if you're short on time, this is like a really quick craft. I think I did about 2 coats on the big coffee pot and just like left it to dry in between. But as I've already done that one, you see what it looks like in the finished article. But it's really quite satisfying, like, to see the way the paint changes. You see the way it's going on. Like all bubbly sort of. That's what, when it dries, that's what gives it like a stone effect. Like, I guess like concrete almost. And you don't have to paint in straight lines, you can paint in any different angles, slap the paint on to get the desired effect that you want. Now I left mine to dry, I want to say overnight. I think it was overnight, and then I applied another coat in the morning once it had fully like set, because it did take a little while to dry. But that's why it's quick, because you can just do it, leave it to dry, leave it, set it aside, come back to it, forget about it and come back to it later on. Or I guess if you've got a warmer space in which to put it, it would dry a little bit quicker. I'll try and insert footage of what it looks like once it's dry. Like styled up. Maybe I will still use it for paintbrushes. Or little floral arrangement maybe. But, so that is the first coat. You can see I've applied it a little bit smoother on this side. Just fix this side here where it's a bit too thick. Oh, should have popped some newspaper down. But what you're going for is like really textured, like distressed. Look, you don't want it to be perfect. And it's unique. Nobody else will have one. See? Gosh, the battery is going in. Oh. So granted it looks nothing at the moment, but I guarantee you it will look beautiful, like this textured vase we have going on over here. So I'm going to set this one aside because, as you can see, if you try and paint on another coat before it's like fully set and dried, it just won't take, and it will kind of like just come off completely, almost like you're dry brushing it away. So you do need it to dry in between, and I sealed this once it was completely dry with some, what did I use, Mod Podge, and yeah, it's not going to come off now. It's perfectly set, and I'll just set this over here to dry. I will show you once it's finished what the finished article looks like, because you're probably thinking, oh god, what's that going to look like? It's awful, but I promise it will turn out very well. So that painting my coffee pot inspired me to also, what's the word I always think, is it upcycle? Oh, who knows. Anyway, I don't know if you will have seen my Poundland haul recently for like Easter, Spring, Mother's Day. If you will have seen, I picked up several little like ceramic little bunnies, and two of them were sitting on, well, they were all sitting on a little Easter egg. One was sitting on a blue, one was sitting on a pink, and one was sitting on a yellow, and I love the blue and the pink one. And they'll go in like different areas of my house, I think, quite nicely. But I wasn't too, and I wanted the yellow, and so I took inspiration from this, the texture I created on this here vase, and repainted this bunny's egg, as you can see, and like, the lighting is terrible, I'm so sorry, speckled the paint on as well, if you can see that. And I just think it looks so much more expensive than it was and miles better than the yellow one. And granted, yellow is a beautiful spring colour, but it just didn't go with my home decor. I've got like a lot of blues and sage green, little bits of pink here and there, especially in my kitchen, but this, I think it just looks so much better. It looks so cute. So yeah, you could also upscale your little Easter bunnies if you would like to. I mean, you could even do the bunny himself, but I've left the bunny completely ceramic, white, shiny. So like the contrasting between the shine on him and the rusticness of the egg, if that makes sense. So yeah, I will insert some footage of my finished little paint pot or tiny little vase once it is dry and I have applied another coat of this paint. But I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching. Hello, so it's now the next day, and here is my little jar that I left to set and dry overnight, and if you can see, it's kind of dried, really textured, and looks stone like, even though it is a glass jar. And I actually painted around the rim and a little bit on the inside also, just, I mean, you won't see the whole inside, but you might just see the inner section, so I just painted there as well. Now, I'm really happy with the texture of this. However, I had an idea that I'm going to try something as well on there also. So I've got these other little tester pots from Wilco's. Excuse me. Oh, the gully nose. There's this one which is milky coffee, and delicate chalk. So I'm just going to pop some into my little paint tray here, just a tiny bit. It's not need too much, just to give it a bit more interest before I like glaze it, like so it sets, because you can't just leave it like this. The paint and the baking powder, as you can, like that part there is just, some of it will just crumble off. It's very delicate, but once you've glazed it with Mod Podge or PVA, it's fine, it's all set. Right, so get some of the delicate chalk paint as well. And I thought it might look quite nice if it was a bit speckled. Put the lid back on. Right, so try a paintbrush. This is just a really old paintbrush. Put a tiny bit of paint on and then just like flick the paintbrush so little sections, little splatters of paint go across the jar. There's probably another way to do this, but this is creating the desired effect that I wanted. I'm just going to go all the way around. I'm going to do some of the milky coffee as well, just for like a different shade. Oh, too much paint on that section. Look. Too much paint on my brush. There's really like no right or wrong way to do this. You can go to town and decorate it however you want to. As you can see, I've gone for like a really rustic effect to create a stone jar. Well, stone look jar. If anyone has any like tips or hints of how to create like a speckled effect without like using a little brush like this, if you have any other tips, then please let me know, because I'd definitely like to try another way to see. There's other ways of doing it. But see the effects there. Oh, I've just got some paint on there that I'm trying to get. I also think I might go in with my paintbrush and speckle it a little like this with the different shades, like a mixture of the chalk white and the milky coffee, just in sections where the paint and the baking powder have crumbled a little bit, just to fill in a few of the gaps. See, it doesn't always go to plan. My speckling with the paintbrush wasn't exactly how I had imagined. I still like it, but it's just what wasn't as good as I imagined it would be. Nevertheless, you can always change things as you go along. That's the beauty of crafting, just you do it for yourself and you can change things up to suit your own taste. You have to do it for anybody else. Granted, there'll be people out there who think, oh no, that's not for me, I don't like the shade of that, the colour, the effect, but that's where you can just take the idea and the concept and kind of like build upon it and make it your own. I'm just going to add some more white. You need to be very careful handling the jar at this point, because as I said, the paint with the baking powder in, that's set. Whilst it's dry, it's very delicate and can crumble. Just paint it however you wish. Could go really rustic and bit messy like I have, or super clean and chic and neat, and you could do it all one colour, like this effect there. It's different. Right, I think, am I happy with it? Let's see, needs a bit more white there. Right, so the next part would simply be to glaze it with some like Mod Podge, or, gosh, sorry, I'm so distracted. Today there is a snowstorm literally right outside. And I've already been caught in it twice, so. The children are so excited about it, the snow, and all I keep thinking is, oh, I hope it doesn't stick. Taking some of the paint off there. That's okay, let's just pop that back on. Nice. Probably be easier to hold it from the inside. Show you. Right, so here is the finished effect. Now granted it's still gloss underneath, but you know, no one's going to see the underneath. I quite like that. It looks super old and quirky. And then, you know, you could pop some flowers in it, you could pop your paintbrushes in it, on your desk. You know, just use it as a little decor piece. But I really like it. The texture and the colours and the speckled colour. I'm just going to go over the inside little there where I've chipped the paint holding it. That's how delicate it is. So I'm going to have to leave this to dry now, and I will glaze it with either some PVA glue that I've got here from B&M, £2.49 for this huge bottle. How much is in here? Does it say? Is it a litre? Oh, litre. Right there on the front, 1 litre. Or as I said, I use some Mod Podge. But you definitely need to remember to seal it, because whilst the paint with the baking powder has dried and set and giving you this wonderful texture, you need to pop the glue on to like set it and secure it all in place, because you don't want it to be like to crack each time you handle it and move it around. But there we go. That is, just try and hold it very carefully. My little stone effect mini jar. So, I mean, you could do this with cream paint, pink, beige, grey, any colour really, to create a vase like the one I made, and you can really go to town with it and really make it your own, and I am really pleased with this today. So I'll insert some footage of it once it's set with maybe something inside it. I don't know whether I want to put little florals in it or paintbrushes, we'll see, but once it's set and I pop the glue on, I'll do that. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video and this inspired you to be crafty and make yourself a little stone effect, this little jar with leftover paint and baking powder that you've most likely got in your cupboards at home. So thank you for watching, and if you enjoyed this video, please consider giving it a thumbs up and hitting the sub button, and that way you won't miss me or any future crafts, of which there'll be many. So I've got many ideas for spring and Easter and Mother's Day, which is before Easter. Well, yeah, lots of ideas. So please consider following me and you won't miss out on any. And you could perhaps craft along with me. So thanks for watching again. Bye now. Hi, so here is my finished little stone effect tiny little vase. I was going to use it for like brushes or makeup brushes, but I just, for the time being, I've popped some like fake eucalyptus in there, and I am really pleased with it. I don't know if you can see like the different colours, different shades. It just obviously doesn't look like it originally did, and I am really pleased with the effect of it. If you enjoyed this video, please consider hitting the sub button, and thanks for watching, and I hope you come back to my channel and join me for further future hauls and crafts. Thank you, bye!